Hi everyone, this is 999 Dead, and I am Kill Shot. There it is, everybody. I've been practicing that all day long. How many people have seen this teaser, this trailer, and of all the things there we were going through, it's got to be the voice, right? This is going to be a tough one to get used to. I think we're going to have a hard time with this. Hopefully you guys are ready to talk a little bit of The Walking Dead. Got some information out there. I see everybody. What's up? You saw it? Alfalfa. Yeah. Um, I'm going to try to avoid it as much as I can. But we've got some interesting things to talk about tonight. Thank you. Appreciate you guys being here. From the fair to the second half, the images, the hype is out of control. It is dark. It is twisted. They did something at the end of that teaser, though. We talked about it, and I don't know if you guys remember. It's like when I see these things, I don't remember the exact stream that it was, but I just ask everybody, how many people remember when we first saw the images of the Whisperers and we said it was going to be kind of like The Ring? You guys remember we were talking about that? Did anybody notice at the end of the teaser how they had Alpha sort of walking in a little lightning strike, and then she turns around, sort of like I don't know what they call that. It's almost like nothing's happening, or they're moving slow, and all of a sudden there's a skip, and then they're right up on you. Yeah, that's what it felt like. It's going to be creepy horror. Yeah, okay, you guys know. Yeah, I mean, Viola's like, I know it's a flash, Viola. It's not what I'm talking about. There's another name for it. I don't know the exact name, though. No, it's not flashes. There are flashes, but it's something else. I'll know when I see it. Yeah, some excitement, well, let's look at the scare factor. So after you guys saw the teaser today, anybody a little more creeped out or about the same? Just want to see your level of maybe anticipation and fright. I'm going to jump around. I want to get a couple people's ideas in this. Yeah, it's kind of a fast forward too. Scott Kernan, I hope everyone read my warning. Oh, hold on. Did I miss another super chat, Scott? Because which warning? I just tuned in. More scared? So, the voice creeps a lot of people out. How many people thought this was the most telling, best teaser we've seen yet? That's what I thought. It was short, but I don't know. If you guys go through frame by frame, you've got beta. We've got a confirmed spoiler. I don't know if you guys saw. How many people saw Connie in the teaser? Oh, you know what, Scott? It might have been at the very beginning. All right, let me check. There it is. Important announcement. Some people have a chance watching the episode early. If they own AMC Premiere, beware of spoilers. That's a great point, Scott. And thank you. Thank you for that super chat, and thank you for bringing that up. And I'm going to jump around here. So, yes, apparently after the Super Bowl, if you have AMC Premiere, you're going to get a chance to watch it. I'm not going to watch it, so next week is going to be a very interesting week because we're going to know what happens before it happens. But the spoilers are already out. So, yes, Connie has the Whisperer baby. So that spoiler is confirmed, everybody. So, you know what? Why we got everybody here? Because I don't think all of you have avoided the spoilers. So if I had to guess, I would say 98% of you heard how that goes down with Daryl, heard how it goes down with with Connie, with the baby, like all of that. So I don't feel bad talking about it. It was a future spoiler that was, I don't even know if it was 100% spoiler. It was something that Spoiling Dead's fan page has said, but I don't think they said this is the way it's definitely going to happen, that this is what they've heard. Henry is in grave danger. Yeah, there are going to be it's just hard for me to fathom that you guys have not heard it, especially when you saw Connie. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Over the next probably 100 seconds, I'm going to go over that spoiler. So if you have not heard it, because it is in a teaser and it is kind of confirmed, if you don't want to know it, then leave for about 100 seconds, and then I'll be done by the time you come back. How about that? Is that fair enough? And I'll try to avoid most of the spoilers. And next week, we're going to have to come up with a strategy of how we do that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Connie thing in 5 seconds, and then you got a little bit over a minute and a half. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't listen, okay? All right, so apparently when this Daryl and Alpha trade-off happens, Alpha's at the gate, and one of the Whisperers has a baby. I don't know why, but they brought their baby with them, and apparently the baby's supposed to be crying. Then this trade happens where it's either Luke or it is Alden that gets traded for Lydia. But only one, not the other one. So apparently this baby it's crying, Alpha leaves the baby. And I don't know if that's that exact scene. Maybe that's what Spoiling Dead's fan page was a little off on, is whether it happened in that scene. So apparently she leaves the baby and walkers are coming after the baby because the baby's making too much noise. And Connie goes out and gets the baby. Now, the scene where Connie is doesn't look like it happens at the time of the gate swap. So maybe that's why, they were a little hesitant of saying it happens exactly this way. But they make you think that the baby's going to be eaten, and apparently Connie picks up the baby, and that's what we heard. And then we see Connie running with the baby in the teaser. Then I think we can pretty much say that's a confirmed spoiler now. We just don't know when it happens. All right, that's about 100 seconds. So I'm gonna table that discussion because people are going to be coming back. All right, you guys are all welcome back. But as we see some things in these teasers, they're throwing a lot of information out there. I think there's more teasers with the Whisper group and the Whisper storyline than any other time. Now, how about the Michonne scene on the bridge? Do you think that's current or that's flashback? That to me didn't look like she was fighting a Whisper. I didn't zoom in to see if it was a mask. It looked like a normal person though. Yeah, I'm going to have to zoom in and check her hair. I just saw it, and when I saw a little bit of it, I'm like, okay, she's fighting on a bridge, but I didn't really go in to see if it's what she was wearing, a current battle, flashback. I'll get some more information for you guys. I wasn't really prepared with that. Okay. Some people did look in. They said current, it's her hair. Okay. Looks like we got a lot of people already doing a little investigation on the side. Well, Scott, here's the thing. I kind of agree with you because you said completely current, but no flashbacks for her until 14. But this teaser is second half stuff. It's not just 9. That's why I didn't really go in and pay a whole lot of attention to kind of what she was wearing and everything. I didn't see all of whether or not it was current. Some people are saying current because of the shirt and hair. But keep in mind, once again, I can't state that enough. This teaser is not just episode 9. It's all throughout the second half. It's mixed in. So there's a lot of information in there. Okay, so let's talk about the picture we have up on the screen. What's up, Mystics? We like to go super real with our chats, I think. I don't think we hold back. We don't disguise anything. We try to relate to the character situation. Now, I'm not sure what Alpha is doing here. Pointing, putting her, her finger, where she's going to shh. Maybe this is where she says, I am Alpha. You guys are stuck with that for literally 2 months. Scott Kernan super chatting says, another important announcement, episode 14 will reveal the scars in Michonne. The episode is titled Scars. And that's why I thought that let me figure out. If they're going to take bits and pieces of it, and it is titled Scars, I thought they would kind of plant something in there to sort of hype it up a little bit. But apparently, I got to go back and zoom in a little bit more. All right, so this thing with Alpha, where is she pointing? Is she making a case? Or is she kind of, giving the whisper sign? Because if she is just going to tell him to be quiet, I'm not sure how many of us would kind of fall in line. I don't think I would. This guy, the important part with this picture is, look at his hair. He was stuffed, I think, in that bag. You guys remember the bag where they were dragging? Drama King says, dog is getting more airtime. This is significant. Dog is going to be a major, major player before the end of the season. And I think there's zero chance he dies. What do you guys think? What do you think the chances anything happens to Dog is? We got June Smith, super chatting. June says, kills. I am so lost right now with The Walking Dead. Never thought I'd feel this way for my favorite show. Just a tad bit disappointed. Taking all our people out. Well, June, we don't know which people are taken out yet. I mean, so, June, here's my question. And be honest with me. Do you have any emotional attachment to this dude here, who we don't even know who this guy is? Okay, I know June is still missing Rick. I know, but look, I know June's attachment to Rick. But here's the thing, June, is Rick's not gone. Rick's in Walking Dead heaven. Rick's waiting to make a movie. So you didn't lose Rick. You're just going to have to pay for a movie ticket or watch him on Netflix or maybe a different night of the week. Something. Rick is still there. But if we want to drill down to the current list of people, this guy, probably what happens to him is going to be more important than who he is. So, two things that I want to point out with this. One, if any of you are him, let's say you are, and I think the dude, he's in his pajamas, so He was not very comfortable with being taken wherever he was taken from. His hair's disheveled, and a strange woman in a mask has her finger up to his lips, basically telling him to be quiet, and she has bloody hands. Now, how many people here are going to be quiet? Or are you pretty much going to see the writing on the wall and scream as loud as you possibly can? Right? Now, hold on. Somebody else brought up a different point. And I can't really go into all of it because it does tie back into a spoiler. But I won't say it's a spoiler. Just for sake of argument, let's say it could happen, it couldn't happen. So I'm not saying this is confirmed. So I'm not trying to trick you. But there was a rumor that Alpha kills two of her own. So could this be one of her whispers that she's going to kill? Would that confirm? Okay. So if it is, then, we'll find out at some point. If we see this dude again, maybe he is the dad of the baby. So, yeah, I'm not trying to, make people that are anti-spoiler upset. I'm just throwing out some possibilities. So that, in theory, I guess, would still be a prediction. We'll go with it in that direction, okay? Now, there's one more thing. I was talking to Wilson. Well, we weren't really talking, but we sent some messages back earlier today. And did you guys see in the teaser, someone is being, looks like they're being dragged away in a big bag? How many people caught that? Looks like a couple whisperers might be dragging somebody. I just want to make sure everybody caught that. Okay. If something happens with that, I do want you guys to remember that, and this was completely random. And look, it may not sound like a big detail, but it's kind of important to me. Exactly. Uncle Creepy is like a bag of Henry. So that was completely non-spoiler, but I said, what would happen if Alpha has a burlap bag and she has like a bag of heads and we don't see the actual decapitation, but we see the bag open up? If that happens, it's going to be like my mind is going to be just blown from that. So right now it looks like the bag is a bag of Hennessy. Looks like the bag's being used for people. But after the people are done, the bag could be used for, 6, 12 heads, how many ever you want to put in there. It's just, just a prediction and a cool little tidbit. I love when our conversation and your thoughts and things get brought up in other dialogue. I did see something popped up in my recommended feed this morning, and it said, is the fair the same as the Game of Thrones Red Wedding? That was original. And I doubt those of you in the 999 Army were cited for that and got credit for that idea. But that was certainly someone here. Okay, one of the most troubling parts of the teaser for me was the big bucket of bloody water. And June Smith, that's where I'm afraid. She's got blood on her hands. Okay, blood on your hands, you could kill a person. But, you got this place where you're just like washing your hands pretty consistently after you're killing people. I don't know how many people. And it did look like Alpha. It looked like the same sleeves. So, and if you missed the bucket, it was toward the end of the teaser, and there were about 10 images just like, just like that. And you really got to go through them and check them frame by frame. But yeah, it's very easy to miss. Keeper like, well, at least she's got good hygiene. Yeah, Oathkeeper. It's all fun and games until it's Rosita or Ezekiel. Then it's not quite so funny anymore. Yeah, it's going to be... It's going to be tough. Yeah, I'm not real big on whoever. If this is her first kill, which it doesn't appear to be because her hands are already bloody, I just think it needs to be Alden. If Alden is the first kill and it's just with the shotgun, or she kills him in front of Luke, then I'm going to feel a little bit more fearful of her. If it's this guy, she's ramping me up to something. All right. I do have a very important question. I mean, we've been a little bit lighthearted and back and forth, especially tonight. But I got a serious question. Because it has to do with the plot. It has to do with the vibe of the second half and the level of acceptance and the level of evil and all those things. So don't hold back with this one. Because this has been a topic that I brought up multiple times. And I'm just a little, maybe not concerned, but maybe a little confused. So the speech. Your people crossed into our land. Your people killed our people. There will be conflict. I am Alpha. All right, so that's kind of, what she said, right? Three out of 10. All right. Orlando just gave me, out of a possible 10, I got a 3 for the accent. Well, there you go, Viola. You just heard the speech. So I'm going to try again, because I don't like getting a 3 at nothing. You don't give me no 3, Orlando. So I'm going to try it again. I'll just do the last part. I am Alpha. There you go. All right. Now, somebody vote. Somebody give me higher than a 3. Just higher than a 3. That's all. Thank you, Julia. I appreciate that. Nova Jinx. Every time Alpha's in a scene, there will be blood. All right. There, you know what? Comic fan, I got a 7 out of 10. That's all I'm asking for. Just a 7 is okay. I'll take a 7. All right. It wasn't to do a master impersonation, though. The point of the speech, and this is why it's a fairly serious question for me. Thank you, Crawfish. Why does it appear that they are playing the sympathy card? Why are they giving Alpha validation for this war. I don't know that I'm okay with that at this point. And I've stated, I think on several occasions, how I need this to play out, how emotionally I need this to be. So if you're going to give me that speech and you're going to blame this group, you need a previous kill of Heath or of Sherry or someone. She needs to have done something evil where the blame is not, there's no gray area here. So Nathan, Q&A, do you think Alpha could outlive Beta on the show? Yes, Nathan, I do. I think and even hope that a few of these whisperers just get away. That the horror is not just extinguished and they just all die. I'd be fine if there's a mini retreat and maybe they rebuild their numbers and then we see a few of them again later on. I'm okay with that. For me, it doesn't have to play out like the graphic novel. For one, I'm only on issue 111, so I haven't read that far in the graphic novel, so I'm not so attached to the story. But I'm perfectly okay with her always kind of lurking or there being a few of them and you always kind of live in fear. And I'll get back to kind of my plot shift and some kind of pointed questions I need you guys to help me out with. But isn't The Walking Dead a little... That's a loaded question, right? When I ask you guys a question that way. Well, I have to. But do you feel like The Walking Dead gets a little boring when they don't live in fear? Gets a little complacent? Gets a little too much like soap opera? Love, exciting and new. You know, kind of like the Love Boat, right? It's too, you know, there needs to be some of it, but not all of it. And I think if you keep having an enemy and you kill them, then you got to create another enemy and you kill them. And what do they do in between killing enemies? They rebuild, and then they're not living in fear. And I think to a degree, we got immune to the walkers because you can only be so afraid of walkers. You had a point where now, you know, little kids are going up killing walkers. Not a big deal. So if these groups keep growing and you know there's a whole lot of evil, at this point in the world, one would think there's more evil than good. Would we agree with that? At this point in the zombie apocalypse, there's more people that feel abandoned. There's more people that feel betrayed. There's more people that probably doubt their spirituality. I mean, at this point, it's probably like, I'm stuck here and look at all this death around me. So you'd think that instead of more good, you'd think you'd have more evil. I got a super chat up here. This is Captain Crawfish 999. What's up, Crawfish? What if it was Alpha and Morales' daughter Rick took? You mean Baby Grace? I'm thinking that through. So, the baby was not Morales' baby. The baby was the guy that Rick murdered before he went into the other room. Morales just happened to show up. So what if it was, I don't know what that guy's name is. What if it was the guy that Rick killed outside the baby Grace's room and Alpha before the time skip? I I think that would be a stretch, just to be honest. I don't know that would create a lot of revenge. And even if it did, Rick's not there, so it's not like she's going after Rick. I mean, we don't know. We're going to get some Alpha backstory, and what could be cool with Alpha's backstory is we might get some information on the TV show that they've never gotten in the comics. Because when I ask questions about, okay, in the graphic novel, give me a little bit of the history with Alpha, it's very limited. It was kind of like with Negan. I mean, we know things about Negan, but over time, what happens is people start to add their own, here's Negan, of who he was, what he did, gym teacher, so on and so forth, and it just kind of develops. And I think the TV show, there's going to be a little bit more backstory added to Alpha. And I'm always cool with that, because if I feel like we're getting something brand new that other people don't already know. It's like, well, I mean, there'll be a spoiler, so I wouldn't compare it to a spoiler. But the comic book fans, and many of you are, those comic book fans, are unique. Because some of you need it exactly the way it is, and it needs to maintain its purity, the purity of the story. And some of you just know it and are totally okay with it being different. And then many of us we're kind of learning as we go. And I know the comic book fans can't undo your knowledge because you've already read it, but I enjoy seeing it on the TV show before the comic. I do have to be honest with you. Because I like to see how the TV show has twisted it. So, Kay Smith wants to know if Alpha loves Lydia. It's a very difficult question to answer. Love in the sense of what we would consider love and what we would subject our children to? No. Not based on our standards. Love based on what she thinks the perception of society should be? I'll put it this way. To Alpha, it's love. To the whispers that are trying to conform to Alpha's mentality, it could be conceived as love once they drink the Kool-Aid. To the rest of us that have certain standards and certain things that we hold dear and cherish as far as sanctity and what children should and should not be exposed to, no, it's not any form of love. It's abuse. But in Alpha's mind, I think it is love. I know it's a complicated answer, but there was like this this Ted Bundy challenge on Netflix. Don't watch Ted Bundy alone. Did anybody do that? Any of you watch that on Netflix? Just curious. And it's like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's too twisted. Anyway, I know some people that did. And it's not that I wouldn't think I would do it, but here's my challenge. I think, and I'm okay doing it, in chat with you guys because we do our analysis. I'm going to a dark place trying to understand the psyche of Alpha. And I'm already starting to do it. I'm already trying to sort of get into the understanding, and I haven't gotten it into the graphic novel, which is so much worse. I think. I don't know, and we haven't seen it yet, but just based on, I think, what they will be able to show us, sometimes you got to be careful. I'm not, not that you're going to become alpha, but it's just when you rationalize and you try to understand and try to see that point of view, sometimes you let your guard down a little bit. So she is an evil psychopath by many people's perception, but not her own. Some good comments there. I haven't read all your comments, but I'm catching them as you guys type them. Yeah, but Viola, here's the challenge with that. So Viola McGowan says she's crazy. But to her, she's not crazy. And to the group that's following her, she's not crazy. And I'm not trying to see what I'm doing now is we're going back to the speech, and we will go full circle back to that. And we go back to the sympathizers. So to understand her, I mean, you can definitely check out and say there is no understanding her, but as you start to watch and you start to watch the people react to her, the question is, if she is a sociopath, are all the people following her sociopaths, or is this their new reality? Is this the de-evolution of the species? Is the way to survive in this zombie apocalypse to become less and not become more? And I'm not saying accepting her warped perceptions of abuse and how, but that is part of their standard and that is part of their way of living. And we can't understand it, and nor do I really want to understand it because we're not in that situation of survival. We're kind of in our ivory towers and we're looking at, okay, well, we're not having to live and survive and steal and look around every corner. And what they're doing, they think, is the method that is going to work. Survival of the quietest. Fair enough. Oh, man, Orlando, you're gonna really draw this one out. Is there a difference between psychopathy and insanity? Yeah, I think so, but I think it's a very fine line between the level of control that you have, and I see insanity as just a blatant, complete lack, whereas being a psychopath, I think there are intervals of decision making that we could probably have a whole hour chat on that, but I think there's a small distinction. Let me jump over. People are going to watch a playback. It's like, this ain't Walking Dead news. This is Psychology 101. But I think there's going to be a lot of that with Alpha, right? I mean, I think there's just going to be a lot of analyzing their behaviors. June Smith says, I owe you this, Kills, from when we couldn't super chat. Thank you, June. I appreciate that. But you don't owe anything. You are phenomenal, and I appreciate you being here. And love your super chats, and I love your follow-up questions to your super chats too. Because I know your passion for the show, and I know your passion for Rick. Well, I guess we could do a cause and effect. Who was it? Somebody just typed something that was very interesting to me. Jason Craig, wearing human skin. Issues? Well, it depends. So, what's more strange? Think about this for a second. Because, boy, we're about to go down a road, and we can't go back from this road. You guys made me do it, okay? What's more strange and what's more practical? Wearing a walker suit and going wherever you want without fear and blending and surviving, or dressing up as a knight with a undersized piece of armor and acting like you're in a kingdom. I mean, I'm going to call it out, right? I mean, why not? Why not draw the comparison? You get people riding around in horses, speaking like a king, wearing silly suits, and these people are surviving and killing and taking over and doing whatever the hell they want to do. And they appear to have a structure for the most part. Now, we haven't seen the dissension and the animosity that we might see, but people screw up, they die. And Alpha may make an example out of that. So there is a very distinct leader. There is a system. You don't violate that system, and you live. But then you look around, and it appears that the group has more freedom. Alexandria hasn't been able to get along. The kingdom got taken over by the saviors. They weren't prepared. Even inside the kingdom, Richard couldn't get along with Ezekiel. Hilltop, my God, you had Gregory running that show, and people were not happy with Gregory's leadership. So you had animosity there as well. So of all of what we've seen, it ain't working. These groups have not been able to get along on their own. The Whisperers didn't make them not get along. The Whisperers are around now. They're the newest fear, but let's not forget over the last 7 years, these groups have barely talked to each other. So there's already problems. Whether it's a physical threat, whether it's a spiritual threat, or whether it's an emotional threat, they have not figured out how to exist and how to rebuild. So there is an argument to be made that society is not going forward, and the group that may go forward is the one that goes backwards. I got a couple more super chats in here. We got 1189 Paris says, why can't they just disguise themselves like Morgan did? The Whisperers are sick, and we're sick before zombie apocalypse, and justifying it because of the zombie apocalypse. So, Paris, and that's kind of partially the point that I was making, is for every example you give me of harmony in different seasons of The Walking Dead, I can tell you about jealousy and about revenge and about disagreements and about lack of leadership. And the Whispers think that they have it figured out. Amy Ferreira says Rick used guts to disguise people. Effectively, and Father G went blind because of those guts. I think, Anne, I think that's another great comparison too. Walker Skins versus Michonne and her pets. It was creepy and it was cool when Michonne did it. But now that we look back on it, it's like, whoa, that might have been a little drastic. So let me clarify this, and most of you know this. Some new subscribers may not. They might be like, who's this guy behind a microphone and Why is he so passionate, and what the hell makes him think that he's right? But the rest of you have been here for 3 years. You know how we debate things and how we really break it down to the most minimal level. So I'm not saying that the whisperers are right. What I'm saying is the whisperers think they're right, and that's all that matters. And they have a right to think that, no matter how twisted we think it is, because nothing else is working. Rick could not even get the Saviors to help rebuild. Maggie could not get along with Rick because of revenge. So, give me a time in The Walking Dead that you thought that there was a group more organized than the Whisperers, smarter than the Whisperers, a better plan than the Whisperers, and a better disguise than the Whisperers. Because right now, I think they have the upper hand. And right now, I think they're coming across as the group that should survive. And Casey says quality of life, not good. It's a matter of perception. And we don't know that yet. We'll find out. We'll find out how many of the Whisperers truly don't want to be in that situation. And I think that's where the verdict's still out, right? We got to find a little bit more just to see if they're truly bought into this cult-like mentality. And certainly, June, I can agree with that. I still want them gone. No doubt. I'm not saying they're going to be glorified. I'm just saying that because of all the things that I brought up, we should see them as the biggest threat that we've ever seen, because they're not amateurs. They're here. They have a plan. They're smarter. They're more organized. They have the violence of Negan. They have kind of like that hunter-tracker mentality of Daryl. They're a combination of all the groups, and the only way the groups are going to beat them is to put their differences aside and come up with a plan to beat them. And this is why Steph hates it when I bring this up. This is why there is no chance, zero chance, that the group survives without Negan. They need Negan, they need Carol, they need Michonne. The Whisperers are a combination of all of that, and the only way that the Whisperers are going to go down is if the group can find a way to really maximize the skills and abilities of all the main characters. You got to find out what Aaron's going to contribute. You got to find out what Judith's going to contribute. You got to find out what Negan's going to contribute. It's going to be such a combination of that, and I don't know. I know how it plays out in the comic. There were so many spoilers with the comic. I don't know if they're just going to follow suit with that and say, okay, Negan's going to blend, and that's going to be the thing that ultimately does it, and he's sneaky enough to do that, or if there's just going to be something really epic on the TV show. I'm getting whispers inviting me to the next cookout. Who's for dinner? Should I ask? So we're coming up on about 50 minutes, and I love the chat. I love the psychology. And this, honestly, this kind of felt like one of our old chats where we really break down. And I need some of these from time to time. And if you don't know the comic spoiler with Negan and Alpha, you're probably, I don't know where you've been, because that's common knowledge. So I'm going to throw another question out there for the group. As we really think forward with the Whispers, does Negan ultimately kill Alpha and that changes the dynamic? Or do you think there's going to be something different and possibly more epic that they're going to come up with the television show? So do you think the story, not what they should do, I mean, what do you honestly think? Do you think they'll follow the comic to the letter, or do you think that they'll mix it up and kind of shock us and surprise us a little bit? Thank you, Crawfish. You're welcome, Kills. What am I welcome for? But thank you for welcoming me. We got some people saying mix it up. Hopefully mix it up. Definitely mixing it up now, nerd. I agree with that. And Paris, we're right there in full agreement. They should keep Alpha alive and make her a great villain. Drama King says Lydia should kill her. Yeah, Drama, but if Lydia kills her and all the bad people are going away again and Lydia joins the group, then we rebuild and the group is happy. And I just think communities, houses, running water, windmills, your food's there for you. I feel like the group needs to be on the run again. There needs to be that shock value. Oh, said one of your better streams. And that is, okay, I appreciate the clarification. Well, it is. I mean, the streams where everybody's sort of engaged and we're breaking down, every step the characters are going to make, should make, and why they make those, really feels like one of, what got us on the map. I think that's really what got our streams and our chats on the map, is the level that we interact with the writers and what the characters do. We kind of live and breathe those characters. But a lot of people are saying, keep her around. Alrighty. And you know what? With that, I think that is a great place to start to wind it down. We're Thursday night already. So no stream tomorrow night, everybody. We are going to take Friday off, even though I did take Wednesday off as well. We will be back here Saturday morning at 11 a.m. So you guys hold tight just a couple seconds, because I know there's calendars posted and it does change from time to time. So let me kind of do just a little 60-second advertisement. Sunday morning, we are going to be doing our Sunday morning stream. There will be no Sunday night stream because, of course, the Super Bowl, and I'm not going to compete with the Super Bowl. And many of you probably will watch the premiere. If we watch the premiere, next week is just going to be really dicey because there's going to be so much good information out there. And I know many of you, as soon as Super Bowl's over, you're going to be watching it, and there's going to be just confirmed data. So I'd kind of prepare for that in some of the streams next week. Viola, I'll throw a couple comic book reads out there, and we'll do those as premieres like we did before. But then we got the Passage on Monday, so we'll do our countdown with Passage. We'll do our Passage reaction. And then next week from Tuesday till Thursday, it's just going to be a lot of confirmed information. So hold tight, everybody. I mean, we are literally a week away. We're right there. Amy Ferrero, so glad Kills to be back in the streams with the mods, Pats, 999 Army. And thank you. Glad you're back as well. Glad each and every one of you are back and supporting all the channels. So make sure you subscribe to 999 Gaming, 999 Dead, and 999 Army. We will be live streaming when Walking Dead starts on 999 Gaming as well. So, and that's where all of us kind of met. We are going to keep building the 999 Dead channel. One, I love the name. I love the interaction. So, we can zoom in with The Walking Dead. And the 999 Army, we're almost at 800 subs, so we're growing that channel as well. So that'll be some of our off-topic conversation that whether it's random things, Game of Thrones, and a couple other categories we want to build into. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here on this Thursday night. Last question I have for everybody. Maybe we'll do this again Saturday. Some are going to say neither, but who you guys got, Rams or Patriots? Give me that right now. I'm going to do a couple shout-outs for various people that are here. So first, let me start out with the patrons in the top left-hand corner. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do on a month-to-month basis. If you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about me, the 3Gs, about, we'll do polls. We're going to start to ramp up the Patreon site again. I'm going to ask for your opinion of different things that we want to talk about. So you're going to see a lot more content there. But if you're interested in being a patron, there's a link down below. Sponsors in the top right-hand corner, thank you guys so much. Appreciate everything that you guys do as well. The moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells. Also, all of the members of our Walking Dead 999 Army page on Facebook. A ton of people over there. I think we're like 860. There's a lot of people there as well, too. So thank you so much. You guys are awesome. My super chatters, we're super chatting on all these channels now. We got Scott Kernan, a regular super chatter. Thank you so much. Drama King, same thing. Asked, was Beta capturing Henry? I think I might have skipped over that, Drama King, but a couple other people I did see answered that. Not sure. Maybe. Could be Beta capturing him. Thank you so much, though, Drama King. Also, June Smith, regular super chatter. Nova Jinx, Commodore, a.k.a. Captain Crawfish, 1189 Paris, Amy Ferrero. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We got a ton of people here. We got Patriots, Rams. It's like 50-50, right? A ton of people. So a few more shout-outs, everybody. Bumblebee, thank you for being here. Leanne Gash, Walani, Walking Dead Nerd, Heart of Nixie, Mitch Puddin, Edwin Gonzalez, thank you so much. Tommy, the man bun McCandless, super chatting, says, Patriots, baby. Tommy, I hope, Tommy's super chatting. I hope you win more than that $2 with your bookie. So, who are you taking? I think the Patriots are a favor now. I don't know. I'd leave it alone, man. I'd leave it alone. Might be one of those games you just want to kind of sit back and watch. Crystal, the singer chick, says, thanks for a great stream. Anyone that is new, you guys do me a favor, subscribe and come back and hang out with us. Get involved in our chats. You're going to see when we do our reactions after Walking Dead, we have a couple thousand people in here. Most nights we're doing our reactions, especially for the premiere. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of interaction, and you know what? We got room for more. So subscribe, get back in here and hang out with us. Commodore Crawfish is don't. You know what? I don't think Mel's here tonight. So, yeah, one time they had a extended version of a last word where everybody was super chatting, and I was here literally for an hour while people were getting their very last word in. So, Crawfish says, GOAT all the way. So, he's going with Brady. And, I'm not going to disagree. I mean, he's got the stats. He's got the numbers. You can't really compete with that. All right, I see a ton of new people subscribed. I will see you guys Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. I am going to end this thing before somebody decides to super chat and keep us here a little bit longer. Thanks, everybody. You guys are phenomenal. Appreciate everything that you guys do. Be here Saturday, be here Sunday morning, and then nothing.